Daniel Stewart, volume up, unmute. Are we muted? Well, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I've got you on audio here, but it's not.
You hear nothing, huh?
I can't hear you now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having audio difficulties, and I don't even know I'm talking at this point. My Matthew McConaughey voice will not even be heard.
Got audio.
You good?
We got it?
Yeah.
Do you guys finally hear? Okay? That will cost $10,000 to the guy that fucked this up.
We're good.
Hey guys, March the 5th, let me start over. We are live now after screwing this up completely. Okay, here we go. You guys hearing us? Daniel Stewart, Brian Camps, there we go. Crypto, you guys are hearing us now? Damn, I started this thing about 5 minutes ago, had an awesome intro, and we just blew it. So, look, what I was saying was that if you look at this chart right here, next to my beautiful little old craggly face, oh, the sound is glitchy now, they're saying. How glitchy is it there, Brian Camps? Sound isn't working again. Huh. Wow, this is... Okay, Brian Camps, I like the support, just a tad glitchy. Johnny Dapper, 1984. Hey guys, I really appreciate you guys being here. There's 43 people here. Love you to get more people in the room. I appreciate that it's a little audio problematic. And what we may do is we may just, yeah, Brian, I agree with you, dude. 69's incoming. Remember, guys, I'm advising you, we've already hit Bitcoin all-time highs, okay? The market cap of Bitcoin has exceeded its old all-time high market cap valuation. And the reason for that is there's been more volume introduced into the market in the last 4 years. So you have more volume times price equals a larger market cap, right? So we've already breached that one particular metric. Remember when I posted the information on NVIDIA, my position is Bitcoin is NVIDIA at about 7 years younger, 7 years younger than NVIDIA, and we will exceed NVIDIA's market cap, which is nearly, I think it's over $2 trillion. And the market cap of Bitcoin right now, let's see if I can just pull this up to show you guys what the market cap of Bitcoin is. Let's see here. US dollar. Tell you what, I'm going to leave this here. So we're at 68,631. We need to get to 69,142 if I'm not mistaken. I think that happens today. Okay, absolutely happens today. I thought we'd test it last night. We did test the total addressable market, and we breached it. And now today, I think we find out what the demand on the ETFs are, and that will, I believe, drive the other volumes. Now, one of the things that I'd like to pull up here, if I can find it, this is one of my favorite charts. It's got a little bit of a delay, so it's basically the cumulative grayscale outflows versus cumulative ETF inflows. You'll see from this presentation, and someone posted it this morning. I'm so sorry, I cannot remember who to give credit for. I think it was Bitcoin Archives, actually. Great. He does a lot of really cool work. Somebody said, looks like I've become filthy rich. I don't know about filthy rich, Ali, but I have massively become richer by making this move. That's for sure. I feel richer, but my richness is not about the price of Bitcoin. It's that I've actually built a really cool, growing community around Bitcoin. And for me, that's of equal value than just price. Because if it was just price and we weren't building a bigger network and a bigger community, for me, it would be, well, it would just be money, right? And there's a lot more to life than just money. Believe me, the more you have, the more you realize how important life is and how important like the communication interactions. This is one of the reasons I will tell you, I'm going way off topic now, but it may be actually more interesting. I am so bullish Bitcoin, and it's not because of these inflows, okay? It's like, granted, we're being validated. Stanford, the university that competes with Harvard, Duke, Brown, all the great schools, Stanford is allocating, I just was thinking about this Friday, my brother and I were talking about how many, what are they called, university endowments. I actually should have a conversation with Mark Yusko on this because he's involved with North Carolina's endowment program quite heavily, I think. They have placed evidently close to 7% of their pension into Bitcoin. Now, Grant and I were talking just the other day that there are so many assets stuck inside of these pensions that are very long-term and they're very illiquid. Big assets, big real estate positions that don't get unwound very easily. Bitcoin provides a liquidity pool for these people. I think you're going to see that some of these guys that have declining assets like big commercial footprints, commercial real estate footprints, will see that there is value in having Bitcoin on their balance sheet that will offset the lack of liquidity in some of those asset classes, but also give them exposure to a new asset class that is performing exceptionally well, and I will say is the greatest and most liquid asset in the world, assuming that our proximity is greater than being able to transfer, me hand you $10,000 or $5,000 in cash. Clearly cash is extremely liquid when we're close to each other. It's the most liquid asset, most untraceable liquid form of asset transfer. But as soon as you extend 100 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,000 miles, Bitcoin for sure is the most liquid asset in the world, and it does not care about the proximity. If you've got a telephone, you can transfer. It's awesome. So you can imagine why I am, that's one of the reasons I'm very bullish. One of the reasons I'm going out of my way. I'm starting these live broadcasts. And if you're enjoying this stuff, please subscribe. Please like, okay? These algorithms that run these platforms, they love it when you like it, when you retweet it, when you send it to your neighbor, your mother, your sister. And by the way, I would love more families coming into these shows, okay? There is so much to be learned here from this invention that we should include everyone, even the naysayers. Bring them into my rooms. I promise you we'll be safe with them. We'll take good care of them. They'll understand more about Bitcoin than if you try to jam your knowledge down their throat. So pitching this concept is a art, okay? If you notice, some people can do it very much better than others. I want to talk a little bit about liquidations next, but this is very, very important, okay? We have $8 billion of net inflows. That is removing, netting out, if you will, discounting, reducing the volume that flowed out of grayscale. You see this grayscale outflow? So this is actually, if this is 8 billion, okay? Another 17 billion went in, and the 8 billion netted up against that. The question you should be asking yourself, what happens when this number starts going down, declining further and further, and grayscale is no longer a seller? Now, grayscale, I've always wondered what grayscale's play was here, and everybody was suggesting there was no reason that they were going to be a player because their fees were too high. They're 1.5% fee, and they've lost, what do they have now? I think Grayscale, before the ETF, had 617,000 Bitcoin, and I think they've given away about a third, 200,000+ of their Bitcoin that have gotten sucked up by the ETFs at lower fees. But think about this. If they lose half their volume and the price goes from 25,000 to 100, that's a 4x. They lost half their volume. Their Grayscale is still making more money than all the other ETFs. The volume went down, yes, maybe by half, 50%. The price is going to quadruple here from 25 grand in the next, say, 6 months. We are then in a place where Grayscale is making more money on the ETF than almost anyone. And I will predict that Grayscale will be the first ETF to provide you not only with audit capability inside what you own as part of the Bitcoin, but they will also provide you self-custody, and they will allow you to take yours in kind. That's where I think this is headed. There'll be ETFs that allow you to take your Bitcoin in kind, and there will be others that serve the old legacy world. They don't care about the ability to take it in kind or have it transferred, and I could be wrong on this, okay? We could have legislation. There could be messaging or wording inside the ETF agreements that don't really allow them to take it in kind, so they may block it. I don't know that, but I do believe that if allowed, Grayscale or another will provide a take in kind ETF in the future. So this is really exciting, okay? I think that we're going to start to we're seeing this volume go up from non-Grayscale buyers of ETFs. That's BlackRock, that's Bitwise, that's Fidelity. By the way, Fidelity, been working on this for over 10 years. Fidelity, one of the greatest companies on Wall Street, and they are participating at a very big level. Okay, guys, so I'm pulling up the chart. We're about $100 away from the all-time high there. Just 1 second ago, we're at 68, 752, 63. I know you guys are looking at bouncing around on some of these other coins, okay? I was in a space last night, and with all due respect, people are talking to me about buying Pepe and Bobo and Doji and Moji and Linky and Dinky, and that's cool, okay? You can do that, and I understand the thesis that the volatility on these meme coins is going to explode, that you're going to have a bunch of people chasing these very, what you call a small market cap. I got to tell you, when I see a company with a market cap of $5 billion, I don't call that small. I call it very large, especially when there's zero cash flow related to that business. Having said that, I do not disagree that there will be opportunities to go into these other non-Bitcoin investment strategies. What I would ask, though, is that are you taking into account taxes? Okay? If you hold an asset for under a year, it is a short-term trade, okay? You're going to pay about 40% normal, what's less than a year ordinary income, 42%. Capital gains, I think, is around 21 now, 22, I could be wrong. Personally, I don't worry so much about taxes. I worry about producing revenue. We're going up again, 68, 889. So you guys that are, let's say somebody suggested that I buy $1 million worth of Pepe last night. Now, first off, there's no chance I'm going to buy $1 million worth of Pepe. I'd buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin right here. But if I bought $1 million worth of Pepe or Beppy, or I'm not picking on Pepe, maybe it's the best thing since sliced cheese. But if I bought that, assuming that Bitcoin, now I think Bitcoin triples from here in the next 18 months, that I'll get an opportunity to sell near close $200,000 Bitcoin in the next, call it 2 years. Let me blow out 6 months to, let me blow out to 2 years. So by December, by January, February 2026, this thing's going to be at 180 to 200. Simply on supply and demand, guys. Supply and demand this tight does not, the price doesn't go down. It just doesn't go down. So if Pepe triples, first off, I won't put $1 million into it, but I would put $1 million into Bitcoin. So I'll put a lot less into Pepe, right? Let's say I do the $1 million and it goes up 5x. I now have a $2 million tax bill to pay. Okay, you guys that think you can flip from Pepe to Bitcoin, not pay taxes, that is not how the tax rules are written. So if you're listening to people in Puerto Rico, Caymans, Dubai, remember when they're trading these shit coins and they're doing a 12-day trade and getting 30% increase in their transaction, they don't pay taxes, guys. Okay, you do. You're at least exposed to taxes. So I'm a Bitcoin first maxi, okay? Like when I get fed up with, when I have so much Bitcoin that I'm just saturated with it and I can't move, I can then think about, I think, taking some gambles off to the side. Personally, I have no interest in gambling with my children's money. This should not be fun, guys. This should not be as fun as you're having. This should be you, look at Crypto Wixter saying, I'm wetting my pants. Yeah, you should be wetting your pants and you should be nervous here, okay? And the reason you should be nervous is not because you should be scared, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't fuck this up, okay? Like so many people are gonna fuck this up, it's unbelievable. And so I'm constantly going through in my thesis, because my position now is getting rather large, thank God. But I have to continue to challenge my thesis and make sure that I'm right. Hey, what could go wrong with this? We're at $69,000 right now, guys. $69,000, $13. We are going to breach the all-time high today. And I think we see 71, 72,000 today. We have to push through this thing and go test it. My hope is this doesn't get out of control. This has been my greatest concern, that there's a liquidity problem inside of Bitcoin that nobody really understands. No one understands. And it is really concerning. And I have supported Coinbase for a long time. And see, we just had a downtick, pretty hard downtick. See, this is going to be happening, okay? We're going to have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 days. I was on a show last night with Larry Leopard. I love Lawrence Leopard. If you guys don't follow Lawrence, you really should. I'm going to do a show with him very soon. And, dude, like we could be at $5,000 days, every day. $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 days every day for months. Okay, up and down, up and down. This is going to shake people out. I mean, we just went from 69 to 67, dude. Okay, like a $1,500 swing in about 30 seconds. This is going to be violent. If your strategy inside your head is not plugged in, okay, you should be asking yourself, hey, what happens if I hit 71 today? What happens if we go to 57? Nobody's thinking about, hey, what happens if you drop 10 grand, okay? Because there's some players out there in the market today that you guys have never seen before, okay? These guys will push volume around just to get the price movement, and it's going to scare the hell out of you if you are not a professional trader. So remember, when you get scared, it's because your position is too large, okay? Or you've made promises to your family and you can't get out of your position to fulfill your promise to the family. I bring this family thing up. If you've been in a private equity deal for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years, and you've been focused on building great wealth for your family's been hearing this dream for 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 years, and they want their payday just like you wanted your payday when you came in here. So they want the nice car or the nicer car. They want the house. They want to move. So let's remember, families also put pressure on you as the investor because their expectations may be a little bit different than what you're going through. And remember, the guy that's going through the action, it's a lot easier for him to watch this than it is somebody on the sidelines, the sister, the mom, or the wife or the husband sitting there watching, hey, you just lost $2,000, right? So let's read some comments here. Really love you guys being here. We got 166 people in here currently viewing. We'll get this up to 1,000. This will not be a problem. If you guys retweet the space, subscribe to the space, and make sure other people know it, this space will grow, and I will bring you authentic information. I will show you my trades that I lose money on. I'll show you the trades that I make money on. I have no interest in shilling anything. I'm not promoting anything. I'm literally trying to bring a bunch of old people from the 20th century together with all you cool people in the 21st century, and we're all going to be cool together. Let's read some comments. We got Brian Camp saying hodl, 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 hodl. Yeah, Brian, that's right, bro. See, John Dapper wrote a great question. Let's see. He wrote it and then he retracted it, so I can't answer it. Let's see. Brian Camp says, please expand on the liquidity issue you mentioned. So liquidity, Bitcoin is a really very interesting product in that you can liquidate it in minutes. Unlike most assets, Bitcoin has this ability. For instance, I transferred to invest into Node 40. I closed on that deal on a Saturday. Now I'm closing on a house down the street here. It's taken me a month to close on this house. I spent no less than 1 hour yesterday going through a bunch of documents. Must have been 17 different documents for title, and paid $7,000 on a title, like to do a title. That's such a waste of money. Contrary to Bitcoin, I moved $3.5 million on a Saturday afternoon to buy a Node 40, or buy 40% interest in Node 40. And that transaction took less than 12 minutes, and I did it from 5 institutions. So that's what I mean, excuse me, about liquidity. Liquid. Let's use the word liquid. It is the most liquid asset in the world. Now the question is, hey, how is Bitcoin on liquidity? That's a very different thing. You can see this from price point right now. We've moved $2,000 in about 3, 5, 6 minutes. Okay, that's what I mean about liquidity. Okay, there's not a lot of volume in the spot market. And in fact, I wish, let's see if I can do this. I'm new to all this stuff, so if I can pull this up, really want to show you the futures. I don't know where that is, actually. I'm not sure. I'm going to probably mess this up. But the futures market, if you go look at the September, probably can do it on this screen, actually. The September futures contract.
You pull it up there, separate tab.
Here?
Yeah, you're gonna do trading view.
I don't think it's. I don't think the futures is. Oh, maybe it is. Anyway, the futures contract. I'm not gonna. Let's see, open interest. Yeah, I'm not gonna bore everybody with the. This I find. This for me is really important. You know, we got $158 million liquidated on Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, guys. 100 million on Ethereum. I mean, that's staggering. 100 million on Ethereum, and there's only 150 on Bitcoin. These liquidations are happening every day. $200 million liquidations. Sooner or later, these shorters, these guys shorting this market, are going to get tired of this. It's going to wreck quite a few people. It's actually, I think this thing's going to wreck a lot of people that have been around a long time, which, well, it's just the way the markets work. So So that's my point on liquidity. Liquidity is how much volume's in the market, and then Bitcoin is the most liquid asset in the world, in that it's instantly liquid, right? You can instantly transfer it, and then you can instantly use it. So let's get back to where I was here, which is I got so many bloody screens here, I can't even keep up with them all. I probably need somebody to help me out. So if you're looking for a job and you know how to do all this stuff, you should probably reach out to me. That's the other thing that I want to talk about here that is so not talked about. Bitcoin is becoming an entire industry. It's going to put a couple of million people to work. If I was a politician, I would be pushing on Bitcoin as an industry, and it's going to put millions of people to work. And the really cool news is you don't need a college education to get into this industry and be a productive member of that industry. Anyone looking for a job, anyone that's disappointed with the career they have right now, which, by the way, I did a survey the other day, 70% of the people that have a career today have been looking for a great career for over 6 years. So, like, think about this. Do you want to, if you're 30 years old and you're in a job and you're not loving your job, you're going to live for another 60 years or 50 years, 40 years in a job you don't love? Go find something you love, guys. You would be happier making less money doing something you really, really, really love. And I think Bitcoin as an industry offers so many opportunities. If I was a politician, I'd be saying, hey, let's really push Bitcoin. Let's get an industry in mining, trading, all the underlying stuff that's going to come through this, the smart contracts. There's going to be so much built on Bitcoin. It's going to be amazing. I use this analogy. It's as if, we were transported into another world with super vehicles, super cars, Ferraris and Lamborghinis and whatever they are. All these cars far more expensive. I'm not paying 10 Bitcoin for anything that's got wheels on it or can get in a wreck. But so imagine showing up to a world where there are no highways, there's no concrete anywhere, and we have Ferraris. They're not going to drive well on the infrastructure. So all the infrastructure that needs to be built around Bitcoin. See, Bitcoin's just been this monetary thing, right? It's been this little toy for people to play with for 15 years. Once the ETFs were approved, okay, this is a game changer. January the 11th, 2024, I believe you had Bitcoin literally move into almost going through this, almost like in the old days when the men used to rip the boys out of the mother's arms in the tribes, and they would take the boy out on the journey and turn him into a man. That is what is happening to Bitcoin right now, okay? Bitcoin is the only 15-year-old, this is my favorite saying for the month, Bitcoin is the only 15-year-old that has been invited in and given a card, a little top secret card, to go into any and all country clubs in the world, okay? Dubai, America, Japan, wherever, Bitcoin is the only 15-year-old that's invited to all the private country clubs on planet Earth. That's what the ETF is, okay? And it is only going to chew up more and more and more volume. Like I said, you had Stanford move 7% of their pension into Bitcoin. Some of these companies, like the MicroStrategies of the world, are going to absolutely leapfrog. It's a corporate strategy called leapfrogging all their competitors. So Stanford, awesome Stanford. See, now you're the kind of college that I could consider, the blue chip college, I could consider sending my children to, just because of this one move, okay? I offered, you want to hear something crazy? 3 years ago, I offered the private school I send my children to some Ethereum, and they wouldn't take it. They would not take it with the condition I placed on it, which was they could not sell the Ethereum until my children left their school. they get graduated, or I take them out, whatever. Then they can liquidate it. It was not, hey, I'm going to give you Ethereum, and by the way, you have to pass my children. Okay, that was not what I was saying. All I was saying was that I want you to hold this on your balance sheet. They refused to hold it on their balance sheet, stating their board, which is probably 8 million years old, average age is 8 million years. Their board said that they don't hold assets on their balance sheet, which is a complete lie, because they, in fact, have a mortgage, they own real estate, they own the land, they build the buildings on the school. I literally looked at the president of the school and said, excuse me, this building over here, like, that's on your balance sheet. So what they didn't want to do is they didn't want to, like a piece of art, hey, we need to sell the Picasso as soon as someone gives it to us as a donation. What I was trying to get them to do was realize how much they don't know about digital assets, and that hopefully they would have brought one of the younger kids into the finance team to help them understand how to deal with this donation. That was $700, okay? That was $1,000, maybe call it $1,000 Ethereum, $1,200 Ethereum I was offering the school. We did the same thing, by the way, with, I do these parties once or twice a year. We had a fire department here who had, their families get into trouble, the fireman dies, they need help. And we raised $40,000, I believe, one evening for this local fire department in St. Pete. Wonderful people. And part of my condition was I strongly encouraged them to take $10,000 of the 40 and place it into Bitcoin. It is my understanding they did do that. That $40,000, they took 30 out and used it for the families, and 10,000 of that dollars. Now, 1 year later, probably 9 months later, that is now worth $40,000. So what went from 40 is now 80, and I'm pretty sure that you have people in the fire department in St. Pete now very interested in Bitcoin. You cannot get interested in something if you look at it from the sidelines. You only get interested if you actually engaged in the process. And this is the beauty of what I did 4 or 5 years ago. Was I've gone through now the tuition. I've gone through all the issues that get me comfortable with making a very, very serious and meaningful investment for my family into Bitcoin. And so, again, I'm not chasing these kind of startup programs. I'm sure some of these are going to work exceptionally well. Maybe Solana is a 10xer. I don't know. Maybe Pepe's a 50xer. Perhaps. I am investing money for my children. Okay, I'm not sitting here interested in getting an accelerated return. But I know that my risk is so much bigger on these other asset classes or assets or things. I don't even know if they're assets. They don't have cash flow. They don't have a management team really that's clear. Look, I just think, quite frankly, I just think Bitcoin's such a great opportunity. I have some of this stuff, okay? I am guilty as charged. I probably put 600 grand into miners. It's doing horrible, okay? And not only is it doing horrible, I have missed probably a 2xer, okay? So like this is starting to get expensive playing around with these other, and miners, I would say miners are real business, right? They're generating cash flow. I own some Solana. I'm probably happy with the Solana, but it's not a big position. For me, it's not a big position. But Bitcoin is the beast, okay? It's the Godzilla. It's the big kahuna, King Kong. And don't know why I would mess around with a little punk when I can be with the cat daddy of all daddies. You guys like that? The cat daddy of all daddies. Now, let's see. We've got any comments here? Question is, do I invest in Bitcoin? 97% of the people on a survey said they invest in Bitcoin, in alternative assets. And will Bitcoin break the all-time high? I'm not seeing, by the way, guys, I'm not seeing any comments here. Will Bitcoin break all-time high today? As I said, it has already done that, is market cap, but I do believe that we break the all-time high. Oh, there we go. You guys are just gonna have to put up with the old man, okay? I'll figure this stuff out. I got Ryan here. He's helping me. We got 224 concurrent viewers, all supporting us here. Douglas Stone says that there will never be another Bitcoin. I probably agree with you there, man. What is the USD all-time high? I think it's 69,142. Let's see. Douglas Stone further says, only Bitcoin is thermodynamically sound in physical universe and cyberspace. Whew, can barely say all those words together. What else we got? BTC equal Godzilla. I love that, man. I love that. That's sharks. And then we got, it's great watching you learn from Florian Alk. Keep up the good work. Thank you. You know, I'll tell you, those comments are really helpful for me because, you know, every now and then I get 10 of these good comments and then every now and then go, well, he looks wrecked or he's an idiot or whatever. But I love the hey, we like this. It's helping us. That really helps me to want to do more. So I appreciate you very, very much. Frank Boovy. Love altcoins too. Bitcoin pulls them up. Long-term, hold, in my opinion, is Solana. It's climbing nicely. I agree with you. It is acting very well, actually, Frank. And its operating costs are way cheaper. Totally blows ETH out of the water, Ethereum out of the water. Bitcoin is the new gold. Most certainly it's ripping apart silver. Now, interesting. We got silver and gold moving, huh? That is really, I think that's really kind of fascinating. Finally have silver and gold are moving. I think gold's up. Well, let's see if I can find where gold is right now. Probably can't because I'm only tracking crypto. We'll get all this worked out, guys. We'll have stuff. I'll have stuff at my fingertips here in the very near future. If you guys dig this and want me to keep doing it, we will have it all wired in. We're also going to start bringing on some really, really cool guests, guys you normally can't meet and can't see, and I'm really hoping that you guys dig that. Let's see. Ali says, waiting for 50K to load aggressively on Bitcoin. You're waiting. I'd love to know what, Ali, what are you waiting for? And how long you been waiting? And let's say we stay here at 60, 67, or we go to 80. How long are you going to wait, man? We are getting ready to have the largest number of dollars ever come into Bitcoin in the history of Bitcoin. Like, I don't know what you guys are waiting for, quite frankly. These people buying these ETFs, they don't care what the price is. In fact, I'm certain that most of the people who have been allocated Bitcoin, who didn't make the phone call to their investment advisor and say, hey, buy me $20 million worth of Bitcoin, which is happening, by the way. 80-year-old friend of mine, his first entry into Bitcoin, 20 mil. Him and his son, been watching it. His son brought him into it. He just sold a business, I think, for $500 million. So he's probably got somewhere between 350 and 400 to spend, and he's deploying 20. That's his first move. He deployed 20 at 52. Believe me, he's going to look at deploying another 50 or 20 when he sees these returns. Okay, he is not going to sit on his hands and go, well, this is cool. I'm going to just stay right here. So I don't know what you're waiting for, man, quite frankly. Let's see. A lot of older guys coming into this space, okay? I see quotes from BTC Believer, 56 years old. I would love a job in Bitcoin. Loving Gary, thanks, man. Just ran across him a couple of weeks ago. Here's a guy that's just coming into the space, and he's seeing some of these silver-haired guys that are, have had long careers in Bitcoin, and it's getting him interested. And he's starting to say, hey, I'd love it. 56 years old. See, this is going to happen. 56-year-old guy says, hey, I want to come into Bitcoin. come on in, dude. You can come help me. We'll figure out how to make the math work later. But right now, the opportunity is just sitting here, begging people to grab the metal, grab the Bitcoin, and go with it. Here are a few other comments. Let's see, from Gavin. All has been listening to Gary Soloway too much. I don't know. Ali. Ali's the guy that wants to buy Bitcoin at 25 or 50,000. Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, I'll be so far in front of you. I don't think we see 48 again, personally, which is going to really challenge. I don't think you're going to see these low prices again. Silver market is underneath Bitcoin by the end of the week. That's Eric Carlson. Eric, I actually agree with you. Unless silver continues to move, it's currently at 1.363 billion. Thank you very much, Inspector Ape. And the market cap of Bitcoin is 1.335. So we are, $10, $20 million away from the all-time high. Bitcoin is a black hole that will suck from all other asset classes. That's GMACD. Hey, listen, I have this theory. What if Bitcoin doesn't have to suck anything from anything other than new cash? I have this theory that says all the wealthy in the world, they are already at max investment thesis. Max investment on real estate, max investment on bonds, max investment on stocks, max investment in the Mag 7, which Bitcoin's going to become a part of the Mag 7. Why wouldn't it? Now I know gold's not, but Bitcoin will become a part of the Mag 7, I believe. Could that take less than 2 years? I think so. Can you imagine if people start looking at Bitcoin as an asset class that needs to sit into the S&P? I'm not sure it can as a commodity, but it'd be really interesting, even if theoretically that's the way people think. Here's Daniel Stewart says first buy Bitcoin was, his first buy was 2015 on a drunk bet. Glad I was drunk and talked into it. It was $238.64 on that day. Buddy of mine just called me last week, said he has 560 Bitcoin. He bought it $200, paid $200,000 for 560 Bitcoin. And he's gonna, probably unload those when he gets to $100,000. So good luck to you, Ali, on waiting for the 50K. I don't think you'll get there, dude. But I would load up the truck. I hope you're filling those accounts up with cash, so when it hits that, and it's gonna, if it ever hits 50, it's gonna hit 50 and then bounce off of it so hard it's gonna rip your face off. But good luck to you, man. I like DCA. Okay, I'm not the most disciplined DCA guy, but DCA, if you watch a strategy, in fact, we're going to do a show on DCA, on the difference between picking a price and versus DCA. And I think you're going to be shocked you'll begin to understand why a guy as smart as Michael Saylor only does DCA. Here's Eric Carlson. Gary, curious on your thoughts if capital asset pricing models move to BTC at a 10% allocation instead of 1 to 3 as it is now. I got to tell you guys, I think we're going to find the allocation on Bitcoin is not going to be 1 to 3. I think when they do the math, they're going to realize that it's more like 3 to 10. We're early days. This is exactly why I'm bullish. See, that's a great question. Okay. He's asking a question. Hey, are we sure it's only 1 to 3%? Stanford University just did approximately 7. Where is that? So you guys can see this. I'm just going to be kind of an idiot here, aren't I? See, we're trading $2,000 off the high this morning. Okay, this is going to be violent, guys. It's going to be violent. If you don't get your plan together up front, in your head, write it down on a piece of paper, okay? So we've talked about short-term trading. You guys chasing all this alpha. I got it. It's exciting. It's fun. Remember, you have taxes, Okay, if you're tracking people that are in Puerto Rico, Puerto Vallarta, PR, Puerto Rico, Cayman Islands, Dubai, guys, those guys aren't paying taxes. If you're a U.S. citizen and you're buying shit coins for a 50% swing, understand you have a 42% tax bracket. You will pay the taxes, or you will probably be audited. Daniel Stewart says, never see $50,000 again. I might agree with you there, man. So yeah, I agree, dude. I agree, Eric, that 7 to 10% is not stupid. The cool thing is this is going to wave in, okay? Like all these families, they respond differently and slower than we do. Guys, I have been told that I am limited to 45 minutes on this live stream. My guys are trying to rip me out of my chair right now because I must be talking a lot of nonsense. We're at 66,979. Are you guys getting nervous? Okay. We've moved down $2,500. This is going to happen every day. Okay, we're going to see this kind of volatility. Get your game on. Okay, all-time highs always get ripped apart unless you think this Bitcoin is going bankrupt. We have to go higher at some point, and we're probably going to go lower. The way this is going to get traded is it will introduce max pain to every one of us. Okay, our thesis and our belief system in Bitcoin will be tested, just like your religion's tested, just like every belief system in your entire life is actually tested if you man up. Your thesis in Bitcoin will be tested. And it's being tested today. It'll be tested in the future. If you guys can just chill, okay? This is one of the greatest investment opportunities ever in the history of mankind. I've been doing this my whole life. I've never been so excited about such a cool opportunity. And like to front run most of the great wealth in the whole world is an unbelievable opportunity. I will leave you with this. There are 6,000 Rolls Royces sold every year for $500,000 or more. Sounds insane to me that anyone would pay, what is that, 10 Bitcoin? Is that right? 10 Bitcoin. Okay, 10 Bitcoin to own a Rolls Royce with a special color. I don't really get it, okay? That's going to degrade, when I can buy Bitcoin with no decay. The optionality on this product is going to be unbelievable. My ability to sell options on my Bitcoin that I hold are going to be staggeringly juicy. So if you're excited like me, follow this channel. I'm going to bring a bunch of cool people on this channel, and we are all going to make a lot of money, and we're going to do it in a really sane way so that we can help the world be a better place. So with that, I'm going to end. I still think we'll see all-time high today, but it's going to be a lot of wacky, crazy stuff going on. So thank you guys, and see you next time.